Hello everyone, a new Bad Boys film has arrived in cinemas with Bad Boys Ride or Die, and today I decided to share my favorite films of the Bad Boys series. Boys, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? This was a very hard list to compile. I don't have a least favorite Bad Boys really. I love all four of these films. It's very rare to have a series have this much consistency throughout. I love Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They were born to play Marcus and Mike. This will range from favorite to most favorite of the Bad Boys series. Yeah, this list is going to greatly differ from yours, so feel free down in the comments below. After you've seen Bad Boys Ride or Die, or if you haven't seen it yet, let me know your favorite Bad Boys films. Starting off would be Bad Boys Ride or Die. I absolutely had a blast with this film. This is a perfect way to start off summer 2024, and one thing that's great is that there's always a story to tell. You know, they're not doing this for a cash grab. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith still give their all to Mike and Marcus. It's just kind of similar to Lethal Weapon, is that we get to see both Mike and Marcus age throughout the series, grow as characters, as people. And that's something that's interesting, going back to the first film, seeing them as young hot shots, to seeing like Marcus with a married wife and stuff with a daughter, seeing Mike Lowry as kind of like this bachelor to then being married in this one. Marcus become kind of fearless after having a near-death experience. To see Mike and Marcus switch places in this one. And what I love about Bad Boys Ride or Die is that it's from the same directors of Bad Boys for Life. In many ways, this was almost a middle finger to WB after what they did to Batgirl. Seriously, cowards, release Batgirl. This continues from where Bad Boys for Life left off. In many ways, it's like the Spectre to Skyfall, or like Mission Impossible Fallout to Rogue Nation. You know, it continues some elements from the previous ones, while also having nods to the Michael Bay films. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of heavy nods and tie-ins to Bad Boys 2. Eric Dane is perfect as a villain. You won't be thinking of him as McSteamy from Grey's Anatomy. No, he is one man you should not be trifling with. I like seeing more of Mike and his son, and then also the younger characters. We get the return of Ammo, and they have to clear Captain Howard's name. Meanwhile, Marcus and Mike get framed for murder, so they go from being Miami's finest to Miami's most wanted. And this was one hell of a story. The action is incredible. Certain POV moments that are straight from a video game, a lot of practical effects. I just love the set pieces here. This was such a fun film. The humor, top-notch humor. I mean, there is no greater chemistry. You can't fake chemistry. The chemistry that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have with each other. And there's some funny stuff here. There's some heartfelt moments, some applause-worthy moments. Oh my God. It's nice to see Reggie even grow as a character from that scared teenage boy asking Marcus's daughter to the prom to then being Marcus's son-in-law and then ultimately a defender of the family. While you do have some recasts in certain directions that go in a different way than you're expecting, this still has plenty of twists and turns and action, and it's a worthy entry in the Bad Boys saga. I cannot wait to add this on Blu-ray and watch all four films. After that would probably be Bad Boys 2. Oh my God, Michael Bay was just unhinged on this film. If you like The Rock, if you like Bad Boys, like Armageddon, this is like that on steroids. They knew they had to compete with Matrix Reloaded in 2003, and the action is off the chain here. You can definitely tell it's a post-terror world, 9/11, you know. Having the Guantanamo Bay storyline and the cartels. I love the actor who plays a main bad guy. He was Juan Seguin in the Alamo movie, but Gabrielle Union as Martin Lawrence's sister, who Will Smith, of course, is dating, Mike's dating. That's some funny stuff there, and I like how her character and the agency she works for ties into the main villain. The car chases, that freeway chase, holy shit, that's still off the hook. For 2003, a 21-year-old movie still has some better action than movies now. That is just unreal. Who could forget the Guantanamo Bay sequence towards the end? Yeah, Bad Boys Ride or Die definitely had a lot of moments from Bad Boys 2, I must say, and decisions. I love the Hummer chase. The humor here with the beginning, with them going after the KKK. Everybody thinking that Mike and Marcus are a couple at the electronics store, which is hilarious, especially where Marcus was shot at, you know. There is like a lot of funny humor in this film, and this just took what was built in the first one and just basically dialed it up to 11. This is such a wonderful film. If the first Bad Boys feels so much like a 90s action movie, this is definitely a 2000s action movie. And while I like the story better than other entries, this is still an awesome sequel. that just delivers all the goods. It lives up to your expectations and then some. After that would probably be the first Bad Boys. Now, I know objectively the other films might be superior, but to me, I feel nostalgic on the first Bad Boys, and I also love 90s action films, and this is as 90s as you can get, especially like the European villain, seeing Tia Leone witness a friend's murder and having to go like under the protection of Marcus and Mike, and then also confusing them so they swap each other's places. That was funny seeing Will Smith with Martin Lawrence's wife there. Marcus getting all jealous and everybody, Tia Leone's character thinking that like Marcus is Mike Lowry. Like, that is so funny. Who would have thought the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Martin together in an action film could go on 30 years, and here we are. I mean, Bad Boys is up there with Lethal Weapon and Rush Hour, if not maybe making a legacy of its own. I love it. It would have been interesting to see Eddie Murphy in this, and it would have been a very different movie with Dana Carvey and John Lovitz, but I'm glad we got this. Michael Bay made these TV stars action heroes, and this is like one of Will Smith's biggest breaks. You know, he did another drama around the same time, but this is like the beginning before we get to Independence Day, Men in Black, and it was crazy seeing the both of them so young. I love this movie even to this day. I love the nightclub fight, Dink with the music, Angels by Dink, and then who could forget Joint Jezebel? I'm a Mortal Kombat fan from '95, and that song was also in there. Yeah, it's as good as it can get. It's so stylized. Michael Bay already had a flair for action, and this is a precursor to The Rock and Armageddon and Transformers even, and it's just great to see so many different talented people, what they're able to do so early in their careers, and I just love this first Bad Boys. You gotta understand, like, Lethal Weapon was cool around the time. It's before Rush Hour, but like, Mike and Marcus, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are a lot younger in this than many other buddy cops. I just have a soft spot for Bad Boys. And then for my favorite, actually, is Bad Boys for Life. This movie surprised me. I enjoyed this right before the world went crazy during the pandemic. Saw this on MLK weekend in January 2020, and it was so great seeing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence reunite. Almost 20 years since the last Bad Boys. I didn't think there'd be another Bad Boys, and they were trying to get off the ground in the early 2010s, and they finally did. And this one, I love the action and the cinematography, what these directors do, give it such vibrancy, but also pay homage to the first film and even the second film. But one thing I really dig about this movie that was unexpected when first viewing it, the stakes are so personal. The bad guys, it's just intense. Like, I haven't felt that level of dread for the police force since Lethal Weapon 2 with the South Africans taking out all the police, you know. Seeing what happens with Captain Howard, seeing Kate del Castillo in this, and then seeing Ammo. I love Charles Melton and Will Smith's commentary. He keeps calling him grandpa, and he's like, yeah, just because I fucked your mother doesn't make me your grandpa, you know? I just love that. And then when they try to do the theme song, it's like, no, you're never doing that again. Never. This is some funny stuff seeing Mike and Marcus deal with like a younger generation, but also Mike getting hurt. I really felt for Will Smith. I was like, are they going to kill him off in this movie? Like, it was intense, the stakes here. And then finding out that he had a son with this woman when he was undercover, you know. So many crazy revelations, and one thing I love about Bad Boys is that even though there's similar themes and tropes in all four films, each film feels unique on its own, and I think that helps with the consistency and makes it such a long-running franchise, is that you can enjoy each film for different reasons, and that's why it was hard to rank them. But Bad Boys for Life probably have to be my most favorite, even though I love all these films. And who could forget the soundtrack? I love Ritmo. You know, I forgot to mention that Bad Boys Ride or Die had Tonight Tonight with Black Eyed Peas and Becky G from like Phil Collins. I love like Ritmo with Rhythm of the Night here. I shouldn't enjoy sequels this much, you know, and it's almost like Fast and Furious, how it started a certain way, and before you got ridiculous, they had like the middle sequels that were just like getting better and better, like the later Mission Impossibles that were getting better and better. But I love all the films, you know. The Bad Boys has that vibe, and you can tell that it's made with a place of love. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith doing this for a story. They're not doing it for a cash grab or just quick nostalgia. They actually have stories to tell, and I think that's what's going to make this series so long-lasting and enduring, you know. And I just love these guys, and I love these films. Anyway, let me know your favorite Bad Boys films down in the comments below. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more content. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Till next time.